This is the Heart of the Matter, and I'm your host, Zach. I'm here to talk about our last episode with Joe LePage, and it was a really good one. If you haven't seen it, go back, check that out, and watch this response video. And we can kind of compare what you got from it and what I've got from it, and just see if things match up, or just let me know what you got, what you kind of picked up from it. What was something that stood out to you? But for me, for this episode, I want to go over and talk about mentorship. Having mentors in your life, somebody that can guide you and be there and just give you advice when you need it. And when you have nowhere else to go, or you've exhausted all your options as far as yourself goes. Because I have fallen into that quite a lot as far as trying to take care of things on my own and not really putting people in my life that can assist with those things that I'm struggling with, or things that just don't make sense to me in the moment. And I've just recently, in the past, really the past year, I've started to reach out and find guidance and find people that can assist me through in life and in my walk with God, my journey, my faith. And it's been very valuable and very helpful as far as just progressing in just any area, whether that be the podcast, whether that be the Bible, my faith, what other people's faith may look like, what mine looks like in a certain season, and even some theological questions that I have as well. I'm able to ask others, whether that be my pastor or somebody that is close to me who has taken courses and things that I may not have. And that I find that to be very intriguing as well as beneficial, especially for understanding like certain periods and times where things may have been put in place in the Bible in a certain scenario. And it helps me like kind of open my eyes and understand like the context of what maybe what's being spoken of in that sense, or in that passage, whatever I'm reading. Some important verses or passages and stories to take from the Bible that talk about mentorship for me, I found is in Proverbs 27. Really, the whole chapter is really good as far as just mentorship and how we should structure our mentorship. And when we get to a point of having enough knowledge to be a mentor and for others, and what that would look like, and not focusing on boasting ourselves or thinking we're putting ourselves on a pedestal. And Proverbs 27 goes into detail, not just saying that mentorship is important, but it's saying what it should look like as well. And I found that to be a very good, I don't know, you can say blueprint or just way of structuring your mentorship and in multiple areas of your life. And also just looking at Paul and Timothy's relationship, their bond as a father and son, as Paul being the father figure and Timothy being his son. He looks on him as a somebody who he has grown in the faith and has seen grow through the faith. And it's a beautiful thing to read through that relationship between the two and how Paul stewards Timothy through his walk wherever he is at. And I'm noticing that, if I put myself in Timothy's shoes and Paul is talking to me, now I know that we can't go take it too literally, right? Because for a different time period, we have to understand that. And I understand that. Or I try to going into it. And but thinking about Paul as a mentor for me and what I should take from that passage, I'm able to reflect on my own life and kind of see areas in my life that I could improve in, or I could actually trust in God more and have a deeper relationship with Him. And it's a very powerful thing, because once we allow that to take place, once we allow those changes to take place, and we can see them and make those changes, our whole view, or our view on things, our whole life, it just starts to shift and change. Like for me, it's communication was very not very good for me, and just trying to talk to somebody and even listening to somebody, it wasn't a strong suit for me. And through trial and error, as well as just entrusting God with my direction that I go in life, He has placed people in my life and placed scenarios in my life that have helped me to not only learn from those situations, but to understand that there's more. There's more to there's more to life than myself. It has allowed me to care more for others, to care more for their story, for their lives. Like it opened up my eyes. Like now I'm intrigued about people's story, about their lives. They've lived. I look at a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old, and they've lived 40 or 50 years of a completely different life than I have. They have so much experience that I could learn from. And I'd say that learning from others, from getting their story and understanding where they're at in their walk with God, where they're at in their life, how God has gotten them to the point that where they're at, I could learn a lot from. And that's the driving force for this podcast, is getting people's story, getting their walk of life, their experiences, and relaying it to the people watching, to you. And so we all can grab something from it and use it to better our life, or there's a certain situation in our life that needs to be speaking to, and maybe one of these episodes will help. I'm very intrigued to hear what you guys have to say about that last episode. What did you get from it? Leave it down in the comments, or you can shoot me an email. I'll have my email in the description or on the bio on my page. Feel free to get a hold of me there, and let's have a conversation. Either that, or shoot me a question. Maybe even a question for the next guest that I have on, and gonna get their thoughts on that. And throw one of your questions in there, and just get. I want to get more people involved in this. I don't want it to just be me as the host. I want the audience to get involved as well. So just shoot me a question in the comments, and I'll ask the next guest your question. Whatever you guys want to hear. All right. I'll see you in the next one.